United are back. Like, let's not miss our words. United are back. And yesterday, it felt like Ole was back at the wheel, man. It felt like it was Ole Ten Hag yesterday. I mean, it was a match of... Welcome to MRM Sports. I'm your host, Ronald M. GW26 has come to an end. The preview to GW26 of the Premier League. I mean, it would have been fitting if it was GW27 preview for the 7 elephants in the room. But United, what a game week. Saturday, it kicks off. Newcastle versus City. City versus Newcastle. City dispatch of Newcastle. We see Arsenal leaving it late. Nelson, the unlikely hero. If that was the end of the Premier League title deciding match, it would be up there with the Aguero moment. Definitely. No doubts about it. We see the mighty London Cowboys FC, Chelsea FC, finally scoring with the defender to win all 3 points against Leeds United. We see West Ham, Moyes being slapped up by Brighton, man. I mean, Will Smith will be proud of what Brighton did to West Ham. Sunday football. We see brilliant battle at the bottom. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. 2-2 draw. Magnificent football match. Scramble for survival down there. Come the game of the week. The biggest rivalry in English football. Liverpool hosting Manchester United at Anfield. First half, amazing first half. Gakpo with a brilliant goal. Rashford was the chance. Gakpo takes his goal. The player that United wanted goes to Liverpool, scores against Liverpool. Poor defending from United, fair enough. The 7 elephants in the room. Second half, 6 goals conceded by United. 6 goals conceded by United. You know what? I won't slate United. Let me start off by saying, Manchester United, they have the brilliant coach, Ten Hag. I'll take him at Chelsea any moment of the day. You wake up, say, let's swap coaches, I'm all for it. I mean, last weekend, I was congratulating United. Fair enough, they won the Carabao Cup. They deserve to win it. They're playing the best football I've seen in years. They have a coach they deserve. I mean, the coaches bring back the feel-good factor. You know when United are doing well. I mean, if you support football, surely you have more than 5 friends who support United. And you know that United fans, they believe they're back. You can see in the statuses every time they win, the stickers on WhatsApp, social media, everywhere. They come to this game. Personally, I thought United were favorites to get a draw at least. I didn't see them conceding 7 goals. They are back. United and the Ten Hag are back. But last night, it felt like Ole was back at the wheel. That second half was an Ole second half. I don't care who says what. That second half, let me tell you why it was an Ole second half. Bruno was freestyling on the ball. Bruno was throwing his arms around. Bruno was complaining about it. Bruno was diving, looking to book players, gets it on the chest like Gary never said, wakes up touches with the hand on his face. Bruno was great. The defending, it was as if it was a partnership of Maguire and Lindelof yesterday. That wasn't Varane and Martinez. That wasn't the Butcher. The Butcher get put. I mean, there was the third goal, the third or second goal, the third goal, yes. Where Salah leaves him for dead. I mean, who turns and twists the Butcher like that? The Butcher got slaughtered by Salah. The Egyptian Pharaoh slaughtering the Argentinian Butcher, man. That was something to behold. I don't mean to wrap it in United fans' faces, but then Chelsea have been bad. But we haven't been this. At least we haven't been put to so like that. We haven't been put to so like that. I mean, the deck was driven through. The second half, that was an Ole second half. The defending from Dalo was Ole-ish. The goalkeeping from De Gea, man, that was Ole-ish. That was all the team behaved as if it was being coached by Ole. No way everyone is doing their own stuff. Casemiro looked like a shard of himself. That wasn't the 5-time Champions League winning Casemiro. That was, I couldn't recognize. That was as if it was, Scott did come in. That was like McFred at his best. Everything by United was just so bad second half. So bad. Man. Let's begin with it. Let me try and be neutral in this one. It's difficult to be because I'm a football fan at heart and and it's always going to be fun when a rivalry like United gets put 7 past by Liverpool and it's 6 goals in second half. That's the most damage it did for me. United's heaviest defeat in the Premier League era. The last lost 7 in the 30s, man. How does Ten Hag oversee that? And you could see when I was touching this that, you know, when a coach is just shocked and shell-shocked and clueless and angry and all those emotions at once. Man, you know what, first, to kick it off, the captain's choice, I think Bruno should be held accountable for a lot of those goals because they came on the side where he was on the flank for. He didn't attack back to help out Shaw. Shaw at times, by him bombarding forward, was out of position. Martinez was dragged out and Salah was having a field day with Martinez. And Martinez looked at wanted to pick a fight and Salah wasn't entertaining it. And the goals, David De Gea, some of the goals, I mean, he shouldn't have considered them. His level as a goalkeeper and the goals he considered don't match up. The defensive pair, Varane at one of those poor, especially second half in one of those poor games. Martinez, I mean, the whole team was poor second half. Anton again is a one-trick pony now, where fine, I've seen players who cut in on their left just to whip it in. I mean, the famous one of them bring Robin, and I think I was saying this to one of my friends who's a United fan. At least Robin, he tries to spice it up. Anthony will not take on a man, he'll just check on the right, then cut in. And you could see Alisson knew what Anthony wanted to do before Anthony did it. And every ball was going to Alisson's hands because he knew what he wanted to do. Maybe he should have started with Sancho. At least spice up a bit. Because Anthony, it was easy. It was very easy for Liverpool to deal with him. And you think he did not help out Dalot at the back. You think that game for me, I think it was meant for Wan-Bissaka to play. Because at least with Wan-Bissaka, 1v1, he can sort of handle what's his name? The striker, Nunes, or even Gakpo, or even the overlap from Robertson. At least you can say that flank, that side of the pitch is taken care of. Him and Varane can deal with the attack. At least Casemiro can just drift in to help us Show, because you know Bruno is not going to track back. And if you're not going to, I mean, in hindsight, I think Ten Hag would have been, if it was a prophet that could have seen this game, would have been doing things differently. Would have been definitely, I think Sapisa should have started ahead of Fred maybe, or even ahead of ahead of Weghorst. Why don't you stake up the midfield? Why don't you, I mean, we saw Real Madrid do it. Stake up the midfield, try to protect your back four at most, try to congest that midfield, and then hit United on a counter. Try to do those tactics. And then if you stake up the midfield, Shaw can bomb forward. You can bring some different elements to the game by doing that. Accept that is Anfield, is Liverpool. The Liverpool fans, they know this is the biggest game in England. They want to make sure that they stop United from winning anything. Try at least do something. Try to frustrate. Slow down the game a bit. Have these needle fouls. Just slow down Liverpool from carrying the momentum of the game. If you get out of the game, don't make it an end-to-end boxing match. Just slow the game, slow it a bit, frustrate Liverpool, let them pick up cards, let them commit fouls. You know, play the dirty game. It's only 3 points on table. It's only one game on table. United fans would have given Ten Hag the leeway if they went there for a dull draw and go back to resume to defeating they have Southampton or Betis in the Europa League and Southampton next week. Just keep it basic. Don't try to make it an end-to-end fight, because that's where I think United lost it. The game was too open. Even in the second half, the game was too open. When they 3-0 down, they still thought they could get something out of the game. The game was still too open, and the heads lost and just became a huge mess, man. But then from United side, man, I think Bruno is to blame for a lot of those goals. For the whole how the team performed. You'd expect the captain to pick them up. Instead, he's asking why he's not getting subbed off the game, because he doesn't want to handle the embarrassment anymore when it was 5-0, which I think a captain who can't want to run away from the pitch. Maguire wouldn't have definitely done that. I think Maguire would have stuck through with his boys. Bruno wanted to run away from the pitch, man. And there's a captain you don't want from a captain. But from a Liverpool perspective, I mean, they're back in the game. I mean, there was 7 points behind United now. It's a battle for top 4. There were 2 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, which, if we're being honest, 2 points is nothing. And they have a game in hand. So Spurs should be worried with the top 4 chances. I mean, they lost away to Wolves. I mean, Spurs without Harry Kane, what would they be? Spurs without Harry Kane, what would they be? I mean, it is what it is, man. Looking at the rest of the Premier League and Arsenal, is it destiny or they're becoming too desperate? I mean, the last kick of the game, 97 minutes. If you're Bournemouth fan, I understand if you want to complain about the extra time upon injury time and But then the last kick of the game, Arsenal with Nelson, is it Nelson? I think they score a brilliant goal. I mean, is it destiny or they're becoming too desperate? Because this is a team which is fighting relegation, scoring 2 sweet goals. They could have scored more in actual fact. Emirates, yes, the campaign, that was brilliant. But then, if that was Brentford, if that was Fulham, if that was Brighton, if that was who else, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, would have managed to do that? It's something I think I think Arteta should definitely address. Don't give. Arsenal have been giving away cheap goals. I think even against Aston Villa, man, they gave away cheap goals. I know it was a similar situation. They rescued it in the 90th minute. But then what if they play a team which can handle the pressure? A team which can defend in the moment. A team which can fight and can hit properly on the counter. Because if our Bournemouth had some composure, then they could have scored 3 goals before Arsenal even scored 1 goal. So this is something I think Arteta has to be aware of. And look at his bench, man. His bench on Saturday was very thin. I think in normal circumstances, he would have brought on some players. He did. But credit to him for making the changes at half time. Credit to him for coming into the game. But then I just feel like, again, as a Chelsea fan, maybe I'm being too biased, but I feel like that was playing with fire and playing with danger, man. But anyway, they're still top of the table. Still have 5 points cushion on Manchester City. And City are hunting them down. City are really hunting them down. The way City just defeated Newcastle, man. Plus Newcastle side, that was a tricky City. And you can see they still want the title. I think City deserve the title because to be that team that loses the Premier League to Arsenal. Because yes, everyone in the league should take away points from Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, that would be the argument for City fans. But then to be that team that loses the title to Arsenal, when Arsenal have been bad for so many years, it's not a good look on City, not a good look on the mighty City. So it is what it is, man. And then you think Spurs, man, Spurs without Kane, Spurs without Kane is just something else. I mean, what a bad week for Spurs. What's the trophy this season? Because they're not going to make top 4. I'm calling it. Liverpool are making top 4. Spurs are out of the top 4 race. For me, they're going to fall down anyway. Their titles, at least they didn't lose to Chelsea. That would be the cup they win this season. Out of the FA Cup, I mean, let me call it right now. Chelsea will win a trophy before Spurs do. Chelsea, under the new ownership of Todd Boehly and Graham Potter, will win a trophy before Spurs do. That's me calling it. Next season, if Chelsea have a higher chance of winning a trophy than Spurs do. I mean, our players know how to win trophies. Spurs players only know how to watch teams winning trophies. I mean, Kane, with all the plaudits we get for scoring goals, what has he won? I mean, every coach that goes to Spurs doesn't win anything. And it's amazing how they want Pochettino back. At least you get them fighting for top 4 again, but then Pochettino is not a winner himself. I mean, it is what it is, man. Another game to preview. I mean, West Ham. What's happened to West Ham? Brighton slapping them up 4-0. 4-0. That was a back and front. It's amazing how Moyes is still in the job. In a perfect world, Moyes will be fired. Let's keep it frank. I don't want him to lose his job because for what he did to West Ham, but then West Ham are fighting relegation. It's one of those teams that beginning of the season you'll be thinking they'll be thereabout. They'll be 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th in the league. Not 18, 19, 20th in the league. This is something else, man. This is something else. And then you think Southampton are this funny side. They slip up Chelsea. They lose a couple of games. They draw a couple of games. They pick up points. They always have this fighting spirit in them, man. They always try to get something done. And for them, what proud me is the penalty. But then they still defeated Leicester. Leicester just so poor. Without Madison, Leicester just so poor, man. So poor. I can't. Midweek games are coming. Champions League games are coming up. I can't wait for them. I can't wait for the Premier League again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the videos, man. What a Gaming 26. What a Gaming 26. Gaming 27 will be even more brilliant. I can feel it. United to want to bounce back. Chelsea hopefully will maintain this positive run. And it is what it is, man. I'm signing out. I'm a host, Ronald. Cheers.